This is my second video on woodwind doubling in the theater system. Say, for example, you get called by a contractor and you end up with an oboe book. A lot of the times, some oboe books definitely double clarinet and tenor sax, and occasionally in shows like Thoroughly Modern Millie, they will double soprano. And this is the setup for if I were to play that show. This is how I would set my instruments up on their stands. Some tips for doing gigs that involve double reeds, including English horn or bassoon for that matter, are equipment is definitely vital. Reeds, typical oboe reed, nothing fancy. I had to finish it myself though. Some things that you'll definitely need to keep in the pit as a double reed player are reed knives. And make sure you have your plaque so you can hold the reed in place while you work on it. And another thing I cannot stress enough is extra reeds. Tons and tons of them, especially if you're doing an oboe gig. I know I've had a couple times where I didn't have enough oboe reeds, and it was a disaster. And I think I had one gig on English horn. I can't remember, it's been a couple of years. Another thing you'll want to keep as a middle reed player is water. I personally keep water on me depending on whatever the gig is, but especially with oboe and English horn reeds. Another thing that I find really good to use is one of these. It's a little tray, and what I do is I keep the tray with a clip on it so I can stick my swabs through and let them hang down. The way this works is you take your music stand and you literally just clip it on, and it's an accessory table. I can't really say too much else about this type of book or books, except A, keep extra reeds. Also, another thing is mouthpiece caps. I cannot stress this enough, how many musicians I've seen smash a reed or smash a mouthpiece. If you're not playing the instrument, cover the mouthpiece. And it also saves, it also keeps the reeds a little bit wet. What I do is, on my saxophones and my clarinets, this is my soprano by the way, I keep duct tape over the opening in order to keep the reed a little bit moist, so that way when it's ready to play, I can pick it up off of the stand and just play it. Another thing is keeping instruments warm in the pit. I find that I mostly need to do that with my oboe and my clarinets. I mean, it's pretty basic. You just make sure you keep it warm, blow some air through it if you need to, but don't do it too much because it might cause the outside to crack if the wood's expanding at a different speed than on the inside. I'm just going to go ahead and maybe even play a few of these. I've already played clarinet in my last video, so I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of oboe. I play some tenor sax, but I don't have an extra, so I'm going to play a little bit of my soprano, which is an octave above the tenor, and mine is a curved, not a straight soprano. So yeah, this is my second video, doubling as a middle reed player. A few other tips. If you get an oboe gig, make sure you have access to an English horn, because 80% of the time that gig's going to call for English horn. And a lot of oboe and English horn books that do not have saxophone also have clarinet and bass clarinet from time to time. I own my own bass clarinet, so using that's not a problem. What else? We've covered reeds, we've covered stands. These are the stands that I use. I use Hercules once again. My soprano stand is a modified alto sax peg from a previous stand that I used to own that was a double. And the other one is actually sitting on the floor to my left. Otherwise, everything else is original as is. So this is my woodwind blog on doubling middle reed books and the technicality that come with doing that. Next, I'm going to post an upper reed book including flute, piccolo, clarinet, E-flat clarinet, and once again soprano sax. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the next video. Thank you.